All right. Well, I wanted to come on here just real quick and send out a happy holidays for everybody. So, happy holidays to you from the whole team here at cRisk Academy. So, it's been a great year. And I wanted to go through just a couple of administrative things just to make sure that everybody's aware of it and, uh, and leave you with a few questions, right, as well, because I know the end of the year is always a great time to ask yourself a few questions about, how the last year went and what you'd like to have for this next year as well. So I wanted to offer that to you as well, a few little questions for you to ask yourself. So, but first and foremost, again, from the team at cRisk Academy, we want to wish you a happy holidays and a very prosperous new year. We appreciate any of you that are in the cRisk Academy family. We do treat you like family, only nicer than probably your family actually treats you. And just want to make sure that, again, you are having a wonderful time. Hopefully, you're taking a few days off, being able to spend time with your friends and family. And again, as I said, our wish for you this next year is that 2023 will be your best year ever, right? And hopefully we can be a part of helping you to make it that way if there's anything that we can do to help you. So as I said, I wanted to just I'll make this video a little bit quicker today, but I wanted to leave a few questions with you. But before I do that, I just want to make sure, because I know since we come to the end of the year, sometimes there's questions that people have. So the first one is about CPE deadlines. Okay, so again, a lot of you need to have CPE credits still for 2022. Beautiful thing about cRisk Academy, you can complete the courses on your own time. So clear up until pretty much the last minute, you can finish up any courses that you need to and get your CPE certificates. But one thing to warn you about is our CPE certificates are all generated automatically, and they are based on UTC time. Okay, and so think of it as London or the UK. So, for example, I'm here in Los Angeles. They're 8 hours ahead of me. So if I were to wait until 11 p.m. my time, it's already January 1st in the UK. So if I complete a course at 11 p.m. my time and think, hey, I'm still in 2022, you're not. Sorry, for our CPE certificates are based on London time. So if just think about that again as you're going through and completing your courses, because I know sometimes at the end of each year we have a few people that always are kind of wondering about that. So again, if I'm here in Los Angeles, I would need to make sure and complete any of my CPE before the end of day in the UK, okay, which is 8 hours ahead of me. So, whatever that would be, probably like 4 o'clock, if I can do my math right. I need to complete any course that I wanted credit for in 2022 by 4 p.m. my time in Los Angeles. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is we do offer rent versus buy options. And so just like, renting or buying a movie online, you can decide, hey, do I want access to it forever? So I'll buy it. Or do I just want to rent it? Usually when you're renting movies, like I do most of mine on Apple, you get 24 hours, 2 days to view it. Now, if I don't view it within those 2 days, then I lose my rental price, right? I can't go back to Apple and say, "Oh, come on, I didn't get to it in the 2 days. Can you just give me my, give me more access to it?" They wouldn't do that for you. We can't do that either, right? So if you sign up for a rental option, you don't get to the course in time, or if you wanted to go back and watch it later after the 30 days, sorry, it's gone, right? But told you we treat you like family, so we don't want you to regret it either. So one of the new policies that we kind of created is, hey, if you get in that situation and one of the courses that you rented expired and you're like, damn it, I want to see that again, or I didn't get it done, just contact customer support, and for $19, we'll just add the lifetime to it, which is actually cheaper than it probably would have been if you just would have bought it to begin with. But that's because we want to take care of you. Okay. So those are a couple of the administrative things that I needed to get out of the way. Now for a couple of the questions. Okay, because again, and you don't have to do this, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but I know I'm going to be asking myself some of these questions, and I thought many of you would find it helpful as well. Okay, so the end of the year, again, it's just a cycle that we go through, but it's good to have different cycles, whether those are days or weeks or months or quarters or years, so we can stop and kind of assess where we are at. Okay. And again, I mean, time just keeps on rolling forward. So that's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter when you do this, but I know a lot of people do this towards the end of the year. Okay. And so, some questions you might ask yourself. And again, this is more kind of about your career, right? Because we're here to kind of help you in your career. But, ask yourself some questions like, am I happy with the job that I currently have? That's usually a yes or no question, right? Am I happy in the job and the role that I currently have? And the answer might be yes. I hope it's yes. I hope you have a job that you love, right? But it might be no. And so, take stock of that. Write down, what is it that you don't like about your current job, right? Another question to ask, right, is do I feel valued where I'm at? Am I making the money that I believe I should make based on the amount of effort that I'm putting in? And again, I hope the answer to that is yes, that the organization you're working for is treating you well, is paying you commensurate with the value that you're giving. But if it's not, right, then again, maybe you need to start asking some other questions about, well, if I'm not getting that here, what do I want this next year? Okay. Some other questions, right? What are some things that you planned to do in 2022 that you didn't get to, right? Because again, I understand life gets in the way. That just happens. But what didn't you get done this year that you wished you had gotten done, right? Because if there's things on that list, now is the time to start planning for making sure that you get those things done this next year. Now, sometimes it happens, hey, I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro or whatever. Well, now it's not a big deal for me to go scale that mountain, let's say. There's no reason to put it on next year, right? Sometimes things change. We decide that we don't want what we thought we wanted, and that's fine. You can always make a different choice. But if it's something that you're looking at and you're like, man, I wish I would have done that last year, well, put it on your list, start planning now so that you can accomplish that this next year. Okay. Because that's the thing. Wishing, hoping, praying doesn't get it done. You actually got to plan, you got to put stuff on your calendar, and you've got to actually work your way through to getting the things in life that you want. Okay. So those are a couple of questions. Another question to think about, right, is where you are at in your career right now. Are you happy with the progress that you've been making in your career? Do you feel like, if you're 5 years, 10 years into your career, are you in the job and making the kind of money that you would like to at that point? I hope the answer is yes, right? But if it's not, then start asking yourself some other questions like, what do I need to do to get to the next level? Right? Because there might be some things that you have to do, some personal development that you might have to do. You might have to get a little bit uncomfortable and actually go look for a new job as well. But start asking yourself some of those questions. What's holding me back? What do I need to do to get to that next point that I want to be in my career? Because again, I work with people all the time that, literally sometimes 5, 10 years, they've just put their head down, they've been a good employee, and all of a sudden they raise their head up and they're like, what the fuck, right? I didn't accomplish what I wanted to do in the last 5 or 10 years. Don't be one of those people, right? And again, I'm not telling you to sit down and, block out a whole day to do this, but you've probably got some downtime over the holidays because you're probably taking some time off work. So just spend even just a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes, a half an hour, and just start asking yourself some of those questions. Write some things down as well, to figure out where you want to be going forward. Okay. I'm going to be doing that myself. And so again, just thought that I would share, is that something that I do every year. And I can promise you, the years that I do better at doing that, I always have a better year, right? If I just kind of leave things up to chance and I just kind of let things happen as they're going to happen, I usually don't get what I want. But when I take the time and I actually plan and I block stuff out and I really start kind of making a project plan, if you will, for what you need to accomplish, things will start to fall into place. And this time next year, you will be surprised at what you actually accomplish. So, told you to keep it short. I'm already to about 10 minutes, so I'm going to take off for now. If you got questions, post them in the comments below so that I can see them. And like I said, if you're interested in doing, going from the rent to the buy option, just let the customer support team know, and they'll take care of you that way as well. And again, just as a reminder, if you weren't on right at the beginning, wanted to make sure and wish you a happy holidays and a very prosperous new year. And may all your dreams come true in this next year.